couple things that I want to make sure that I have not skipped with you. Number one, when I talked about tap rooting, okay, one of the biggest things in leadership, and I mentioned it, was never cause your team to feel too far behind to catch up. Really want to go here. Because some people are not going to grow as fast as others. It does not mean that they are not going to be your diamonds. And do not mistake that, yes, we are looking for the people who want to run the speed we want to run today. But don't give up on people who continue to show up. How many of you have heard of the Chinese bamboo tree? Do you know about the Chinese bamboo tree? So you plant this Chinese bamboo tree, and you have to water this sucker for 5 years before it even comes up out of the ground. Okay? When it comes up out of the ground, it grows 6 feet. No, 90 feet. What is it? I made a note. Yeah, 90 feet in 6 weeks. It grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. So I want you to imagine you all plant a bamboo tree today, and your neighbors are watching you go out with a little hand, your little pail watering it. Dana, what do you think your neighbors would say after a year when you're still watering the same spot of dirt every Lulu? Okay, I just want you to know, some of your friends and family today might think you're Lulu. I mean, they really might. With whatever you're doing, they might be thinking you're Lulu. But if you water that ground every day for 5 years, that plant's going to grow. It's going to grow. And so I just want to remind you, you're going to have people in your team that are going to keep watering. And remember that even though the growth is not showing there, the whole system underground is growing and developing so that when that person does come in, they're going to know what to do. Don't give up on people, okay? One of the craziest things that I see happen, and this is why I love welcome calls. Oh my gosh, just love a good welcome call. Have I already said that about the welcome calls? Get down there and call the people who look like maybe they're not doing anything. Maybe you have somebody that's been gone for, I don't know, maybe 3 months, they haven't showed up. Call them. Hey, you know what? Kimberly, I noticed you haven't been showing up. You haven't been on this Zoom. Kimberly, I love you. I just want you to know I missed you. I know why you were building. I haven't given up on you. What's happening? Too many times, Kimberly is embarrassed because maybe she didn't show up the way she thought you wanted her to, and now she's holding back because she feels embarrassed. And as the leader, sometimes we didn't show up the way we thought we should have, and we're not reaching out because we're embarrassed. Okay, so do the reaching out. On that note, leaders, how many of you have ever felt like you failed to lead? Or you didn't quite do your job right? Okay. Let's talk about Peter. Do you guys know Peter? Do you? The one that walked on water and then sank? How about the one that told Jesus he'd never quit and then completely denied him? What happened? What happened after he denied him? Anybody remember? He swore loyalty, right? Okay, here's what happened. Is he used that challenge to grow. He was recommissioned, and after Jesus rose again, he ended up starting and really making the first church happen, you guys. He ended up being an amazing leader. But he didn't have the greatest start. So my point is, even if you fall as a leader, don't feel like you can't get up and keep leading. Every single leader in here, I guarantee you, Mindy would tell you she's done some, Mindy and I talk all the time. You guys, we have all done things that we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. Okay? We all do it. Don't worry about it. You just got to get back up. Okay? Now, I want to talk to you about, so we're going to talk about duplication and duplicating leaders. And actually, could somebody maybe erase my board for me? Because I don't know if I can erase and hold the thing at the same time. I think I need leverage on the board. So, I love Jeff's training on presenting. What we really want to do is create duplication, because if we're duplicating, then we're creating life of freedom, yes? Okay, so I want you to think about, I'll never forget, I actually remember Jeff Belleville. This is a real true story. He was, oh yeah, So this, remember when he was talking about when I had him present? Yeah, Catherine, if you guys ever hear her present, oh my gosh, she's fire. Like, nobody can tell her no. How do you tell Catherine no? Right. But, yeah. So I come in, I do this executive luncheon, and there are a bunch of sharp realtors in the room. I mean, sharp. And they get started, and they're gonna have this huge meeting that night, right? And all I remembered is Catherine calling me for like maybe a couple months and saying, Jen, I just can't get Jeff to do the business. I keep trying to get him to lead, but like he's just not really stepping into it. So we sign up all these people at the luncheon, and then she tells me, hey, Jeff's gonna present with you tonight. And we have all these new leaders in the room, and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. Well, all I remember Catherine saying is that Jeff doesn't want to lead. Okay, so Jeff gets up in front of the room. You guys, I told him, he might as well have been Peter Pan in his green tights. That's where the green tights came from, okay? He comes flying in. Who is this? You guys, he was so good, it was insane. Like, he closed the whole room. Do you remember closing that whole room? Yeah, I didn't really care if it was ever Catherine or Jeff again. I'm like, this is amazing. Okay, so here's what happened with Jeff, is he, that month, went from kind of being dead in a line to signing up 40 associates in 1 month. And this was Jeff's little project build. So Catherine had decided she was gonna really allow Jeff to just run a line of their business, okay? So Jeff signed up 40 associates in 1 month. And that was a lot for what was going on. And I remember him coming to, and he was kind of panicked because there was a little bit more to do than he had time to do. And I said, Jeff, every time that I get into a momentum pocket, I stop all production and I do a presenting training. Because you have to get other people presenting, or you're never gonna duplicate the way that you should. Everybody needs to have their own presentation. So I want you to think about this. Let's just say that you were doing, okay? Let's say in a month you were doing 10 presentations a week, okay? In a week you did 10 presentations. Is it darker? Okay, I'm afraid if I put pressure that it's gonna, fall over. Okay, so if you do 10 presentations in a week, how many associates are we probably getting out of that? 10? Okay, and if we do 10 the next week, how many are we getting? 10, and what about the next week? 10, what about the next week? Okay, and so how many did we do in a month? 40. Okay, that's month 1. So if we do that month 2, how many are we gonna bring in month 2? Probably 40. How many are we gonna bring in month 3? Probably 40. How many are we bring in month 4? And we're just gonna keep going this way, okay? So I want you to think about it this way. What if we do this? Now, what if you just decided, and you guys could all decide this right now, okay? In your mind, you just really concentrate on, I'm gonna develop at least 2 presenters this month, okay? So you go out, let's say you're doing 40 presentations in a month, right? And you're creating your same 40 associates, right? But now you have 2 presenters that are also doing 40 presentations a month. If they're each doing 40, how many associates are they bringing in? 40 each, which is a total of how many? 80, okay? You add that to your 40, and how many associates are coming in a month? Okay, 120. That's right. Okay. So there's month 2. So you still have your month 1 of doing 40, and now month 2, how many did you bring in? 120, or you can just do your same 40 again. Okay? Should you be able to develop 2 good presenters a month? Yeah. Yes, you should. Okay? So now, month 3, 40, and you bring in your same 40 associates, okay? But now, instead of 2 presenters, you have 4 presenters, right? And they're bringing in their 40. And so how many did they bring in? 160 plus your 40, 200. So if you want to know how you get their numbers to be from 40 a month to 200 a month, you're catching on. Okay? Month 4. How many more presenters are we developing? We have 2 more. We do our 40. Now notice I'm not saying I'm not doing my 40 because somebody else is doing some. The idea is if you really want to create momentum, you still keep your calendar presenting full. Everybody hearing me? But now you have others doing the same thing. So now you have 6 times 40 because you have 2 new presenters. How many associates would you brought in? 240 plus your 40, 280. Okay? And I'll never forget, Jeff was like ultra coachable, you guys. He started rolling. I mean, he was rolling and going. Would you mind erasing one more time? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Okay, and so he started really concentrating on creating presenters. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can create presenters. I'm gonna have to go so fast here, okay? But the way that I like to do it is this. This is my favorite way to duplicate presenters. Okay? You come into my business, Kimberly. That's awesome. We do a presentation for you. And you introduce me, and I cross-edify you. And the very first time I do a presentation for you, I'm letting you know right now, you're going to take notes on my presentation. I'm already grooming you to be a presenter. Okay, listen, do not get people too used to not presenting. Don't get them used to it. Okay, the reason people won't present is because you present for them for too long, and then they think that the only way people are coming into their business is if you're the one presenting. Okay, so Kimberly comes in, she can watch me present for her people, and she's going to take notes. I'm going to say, Kimberly, the whole time we're on Zoom, I want you to take notes on everything I'm doing, okay? Because we're going to start getting you learning for that. I'm already prepping her, even if the idea scares her. So mom comes in, sister comes in, Sarah comes in. Great. We're going to do a personal Zoom for mom. And when we do this personal Zoom for mom, guess what? I'm having Kimberly present the first half of the overview. If it freaks her out, I'm going to let her know that she could present the second half and talk about the money if she'd rather. Okay? Now, maybe the first time I'll just have her talk about the digestive enzymes. You guys, she could literally hold up a bottle. She doesn't even need to do the slides. Can you just hold up the bottle of Glow, talk about why you're excited about it, hold up the Mojo, talk about why you're excited about it, hold up the Activate, talk about why you're excited about it. Listen, I can come up behind her and talk about science, or I can clean up whatever mess was made, if a mess was made, okay? But I'm gonna tell you, her excitement around those products is actually gonna be more motivating than my science. So we did this week before last week on my big overview I did. I had Rudy present on collagen and on Enrich. I had Rocio present on, what'd you talk about? The daily health system, and Rachel presented on prayer. For her, yeah. And do you know that at the end, I can't even remember who signed somebody up, but they were like, oh my gosh, I have to have that overview. That was like the whole reason that they loved this, and this is like a big person, you guys. The reason they loved it was because of their part of the presentation. Now listen, I didn't just have them give a testimony, they presented the actual products, okay? I'm letting you know it's actually more powerful to have somebody new that is passionately excited, because sometimes as leaders we get in the humdrum of just saying the same old thing over and over and over. You guys are new, you're excited about it. I mean, Rachel's talking about her libido and her ears not itching and the la 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 la. You know, Rudy's like, my shoulder, I'm a motorcycle rider. It's, Okay, it was so good. And we like got the big guy, we've got the cute girl, we got Rocio doing her Latino. I mean, we were so many demographics were covered here. Okay? So, don't think this stuff has to be perfect. Relatable is better, okay? First half of the presentation, I'm doing the second half, and guess what? It's giving me a chance to hear this person. Are they willing to present? Were they captivating at all? Are they coachable? There's a lot of things I can learn. Okay, now here's the deal. That we're gonna do the same thing with Sister, same thing with Sarah. By now, Kimberly has presented the first half 3 times. When we go present down here, guess what? This person's introing, Mom is doing the first half, Kimberly's doing the last half, and I'm just there to clean up. Guess what? People are signing up on their presentations, they're not even used to me being here. Does this make sense? I drop down and we start again. I mean, I could do an hour-long training on this. What time is it? We don't have very much time. Okay. But ultimately, you guys, if I do this and Kimberly and I present, and I watch her do the first half and I watch her do the last half 6 to 9 times, she's off to the races. Okay? I now identify who here would be the most likely to truly lead, and I recognize it's this person. Cool. Guess what? I'm going to go start again like this is a brand new recruit I just put in, and we're going to repeat the process. Kimberly is running her whole business over here while I'm running with a new person, teaching them the whole process again. Okay? And we actually call this carving a pathway. Kimberly was the leader, then Mom was. Then I went, nope, it's actually under here. And I pick another one under here, and that's a whole other training for another day. We'll do a pathways training maybe by Zoom, okay? But ultimately, you've got to get people independent of you. And if they don't become, if you never let them get reliant on you, it's gonna be better. The other thing is when Kimberly has somebody sign up on her presentation, she's gonna feel like it's her business. Some of you can't figure out why your team isn't taking ownership, but you're not letting them. They feel like they're sitting in on your business. When you have them present, it's now their business. When somebody signs up, I'll never forget Darren's first presentation, the first week we started in network marketing. Mindy left, we went and did a presentation at my friend Carrie's house. And he was presenting, and I was like, that's hot. Babe, that's, I had no idea, wow. Okay, and I'm telling you, the information probably wasn't very good at all. But I remember at the end of the night, like I was so empowered of him stepping out of his comfort zone. I'm like, yeah. But at the end of the night, somebody signed up. And I remember Darren was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe anybody signed up. Like he was so excited. And you know what? It made him want to go do it again because it worked. And so then he was booking the next meeting. Does that make sense? Okay, all right, so let them take ownership. Don't block that ownership. Hold on 1 minute. Have all these little notes I want to give you guys. Okay. We're going to go fast. You're going to have to take some notes, okay? Okay, great leaders don't create followers. Great leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. Okay, you're not working to create followers, you're working to create leaders. If our goal is duplication, freedom, and massive impact, then managing people into action isn't scalable. Okay, we've got to be empowering people to lead. So what are we doing? Okay, number 1, model before you manage. Okay, people, have you heard the old saying like, people don't want to hear a sermon, they want to see one. Or, I can't hear a word you're saying. I can't remember what it is. There's something about that. I don't know. I'm too tired to remember all these quotes. But, your actions speak so loud, I can't hear a word you're saying. That's what I'm looking for, okay? Coach people with curiosity. Don't always give them the answer. Some of our teams, you feel like they can't do anything without me. It's because you're not letting them find their own answers. When somebody calls me and they have a question about something that's a compliance question, they're like, oh my gosh, you know what? I didn't get Jade done by the end of July. Now, how do I actually get Jade done? Like, can I still get the 30-day JAG bonus? How does that work? You know what I say to them?
All compliant.
Well, what document can they go to? What document do I always send you guys to? GetBasePay.com. I'm going to say, Rocio, have you read GetBasePay.com? You have. Do you still not understand that? I'm going to say, why don't you go read the Run to Jade bonus again and then call me again if you still don't understand it. Okay, I'm going to have her go find her own answer. Does that make sense? If it's something that needs compliance called for or needs support called for, I'm going to say, that's a great question. I don't know the answer. Why don't you go ahead and call them and then call me when you have the answer? Because I'm getting them in the habit of finding their own answers, okay? They might say, okay, you know, I did the follow-up call, now what should I do? What do you think you should do, Rocio? Okay, I'm going to ask her, what do you think? What do you think your next step is? Keep them in the question. Keep your team in the question because you're empowering them to start thinking like a leader. Okay, that's one thing, is let them find their answers. Okay, next, cast a vision bigger than their tasks. People don't follow to-do lists, they follow whys, okay? So start casting a massive vision for people. What do we actually do here? I always say we help families thrive, women rise, and legacies be written. Like, it's got to be bigger than whatever you're creating. Mindy talked so big. I'm letting you know, when we got started in network marketing, she talked so big. She hardly ever had to really, truly motivate me because her vision was massive. And so my question is, are you talking big vision? Do you guys feel like you are casting a big vision? Do you feel like you are? Or do you not feel like you are? Okay, so Dana, can I practice on you? Okay, so tell me your vision of what we're creating.
Of what we're creating here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I help people create freedom and flexibility with their families that are sick of the day-to-day. If you're anything like me that relates to missing out on opportunities and memories with my kids, I was being told about the memories instead of being part of them. And I felt like I had only a few precious years with kids that I just am not willing to give that up. So here we're creating opportunities for people to have that flexibility and memories and be present.
Okay, to help people create memories, flexibility, and a way to be present. That's amazing, okay? What I would say is if you haven't dialed it in, dial it in. Cast the vision. I'll never forget Darren getting up in the front of the room when he would first start presenting, and he's like, listen, here's the deal. Jen and I are about to change our life. We're changing our life. We're on the path. Me commuting, me working like 100 hours a week, this is not going to be a thing anymore. By the end of the year, I will not be doing book fairs anymore, and you're going to see that happen. We are literally going to go create a life on our terms where we make our faith and our family first. We're inviting you to be a part of freedom, and we would love for you to be a part of it. But you got to know, we're doing it with or without you. You're either going to be on the train or watching the dust as we go by. But at least you know where we're going now. And I can't remember how all he said it, but I always thought, oh my gosh, yeah, I would be afraid not to get on your train, dude. Because he was so convicted. It really was true. It was not an option for Darren not to fail. It wasn't. He was actually the one more committed than me, just so you know, probably our first 4 months in network marketing. Okay, celebrate the becoming. Write this down, this is really important. As you're leading people, celebrate the becoming. Don't just praise the results. Celebrate the leadership behaviors. Celebrate when people show up when it's hard. Acknowledge them for it. Celebrate them taking initiative. You know what? They might not have signed anybody up on a Zoom, but they got 4 people on. Celebrate it. Talk about it. Celebrate someone else's win with your team. Okay, remember, people repeat what's recognized, so recognize growth, not just goals. Don't just recognize the promotion, recognize the goals of becoming. I'll never forget, Jeff, I keep picking on you. I was already, while you're out, was picking on you, but I'll never forget, Jeff had a really hard time in his business once. And he was feeling a little defeated. And I believe he was a black diamond at the time. And I said, Jeff, I can't remember exactly how this went. Jeff probably remembers when it was more than I do. But I said, Jeff, something amazing is about to happen. Something amazing is about to happen. You have to know that right before breakthrough comes the storm. Every single time. Amen. Yeah. And you're literally in the process of becoming. Right now, you are becoming who you're meant to be. And you're in the becoming process of Red Diamond. But I promise you, if you hang in there, like you're almost there, it's a breakthrough moment. It's pushing through the storm. Remind your team of the becoming. That's where all the growth happens. It's where all the growth happens. And we're going to talk about legacy for just a minute. Let me see if I need to tell you anything else. Oh, yeah, a couple more things. Okay, real quick. The lighthouse versus the tugboat. I really wanted to talk to you about the lighthouse versus the tugboat. How many of you know that there are two ways to move a ship? You can either have a tugboat and pull them, or you can be the lighthouse. Right? Does it take a lot of effort to be the tugboat? Yes. Pull them along. Isn't it a lot easier to be the lighthouse? So what is the lighthouse of? Byron said it yesterday. He's always either unbelievable or he's amazing. Even if it's something somebody else would think was negative, it's unbelievable. You know? 3 people just died, and it's unbelievable. How you doing? Unbelievable, okay? But the way he says it is so exciting. I never call him ever. I always say, Byron, how are you? It's the very first thing I always say. Unbelievable, amazing. It's going to be a great day. It's a great day, whatever he says. Listen, everything starts with you. You got to be the lighthouse. You got to be the North Star for your team. You are the fountain of eternal positive energy. Amen. You get to be what's worth catching. Because everything is about a transfer of belief. Everything is about a transfer of confidence and belief. If you're out there and you're recruiting and you're in phase 1 and you're winning, you're the lighthouse. You're reminding them what's there. So always ask yourself, hey man, every single time I interact with somebody, have I left them feeling more excited and more positive about Trinant or less? Every time you interact with your team, they should be more excited about Trinant. Okay, is there anything else? I would say, think about your conversations over the next week and really think about, are you casting that vision? Are you being the lighthouse? Are you duplicating? Do the buddy system in duplication. Everything you do, have a buddy with you. Have a buddy with you so people are always learning what you're doing. Get somebody on a closing call with you. Hey, I'm going to let you in on this closing call. I know it's not your team. Just be on a 3-way call with me. Just be silent and take notes. I want you to learn how I'm closing. Or I'm going to do this follow-up call. Do you want to learn how to do a follow-up call? How many of you have thought, man, I wish I could shadow somebody? Yes. I wish I could just hear it. Let your mentor know. Because I would always rather have somebody on listening to what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay, Rachel. Okay, so get used to being a teacher. All right. I'm going to close with this, and this is legacy mentality. How many of you have an actual legacy mentality? The legacy mentality, in my opinion, is one of the most important things you're going to have to win big. Because legacy mentalities, they inspire us. They inspire us. I remember shortly after Kobe Bryant passed away, and he always had that legacy mentality. And it's lived way after his life. And you guys can probably think of somebody you know, that their legacy has lived so much longer than them. And so I want you to think about, what legacy do you want to leave? How many of you know that Trinant gives you an amazing opportunity to leave an incredible legacy. Do you know how many people you touch while you're doing this? I mean, let alone the opportunities that you're going to be able to give your family. Now, if you're going to leave a legacy, a life that outlives you, you're going to have to practice. You're going to have to be consistent. Okay, I'll never forget my brother. My brother golfs, okay? And his wife always was looking for, he's a dentist, so sometimes people that make money are kind of hard to buy gifts for because they go buy themselves the things they want. But he wanted this Callaway something golf club. I actually wrote it down. It was a Callaway Jaws 60-degree lob wedge. Do you guys know what that was? Yes. And he was so excited because he thought that if he just had this club, his short game was just going to be amazing. And so she wraps up the club for him, and like he's so excited. And he goes out and he uses it, and do you think his golf game improved? No. No. And I remember talking to Jimmy. Someday maybe you'll meet Jimmy. He's real cool. And he said, you know what the problem is that it really wasn't the golf club. What I really needed to do is hit 100 buckets of balls. The magic of a good short game is hitting 100 buckets of balls. Okay, so remember, the people who are successful are the ones that do the things that most people won't do. Most people aren't going to go and they're going to hit 100 buckets of balls. I'm going to tell you right now, if you actually, hold on, I want to ask you a question here. If you consistently, if you talk to 3 people in a week and you said, Jen, I just don't understand why I'm not signing anybody up, I could see that. But if you tell me I'm doing personal development every single day and I'm talking to and inviting 3 people a week and you do that for a year and you tell me you're not having success, I'm going to think something's wrong. So get used to consistency. Okay, another thing. Embrace desperation. I'm almost done. Embrace desperation. The reason I want you to embrace desperation is because that's where miracles happen. Never underestimate the power of being in a desperate spot. I want you to imagine that you're in a hospital, your child is going to die, and it's going to be $100,000 to get the treatment you need for your child, and you have no insurance. Are you going to make it happen? You are going to make it happen. Because why? Because you're desperate. When we're desperate is when the supernatural happens. When we get comfortable, things die off. When we're uncomfortable, things grow. I want you to remember that. If you're in a spot today where you're thinking, oh my gosh, you have no idea how bad I need this, I could actually make a guess right now. If some of you are sitting here and you're comfortable, you're probably not going to go and do a lot of action. It's the ones, in my opinion, probably the ones that are the most uncomfortable are going to be the ones that are going to go make the most growth happen after the event. Because when we get comfortable, we don't want to get out of that spot. Jeremy is getting ready to come up. Okay. So I'm gonna just close with this. Okay. Desperation is not a problem to be solved. It's a pathway to the supernatural. Don't waste it. I'm going to talk about legacy I'm serious, 2 more minutes, Jeremy, I promise I'm done. Decide what you're going to build. And I just want to say this in closing because I'm not going to really talk to you guys again. But I want you to know I love you. And none of us would be here if all of your leaders, not just me, didn't just love you. We want you to win. We really do. You guys are amazing. But I really want you to, before you leave and go home, even if it's tonight, I really want you to think, what you want. You'll get to meet my grandbabies in the backyard tonight, probably maybe a couple of them. maybe just a couple. But whatever it is, it's so worth it. Your why is worth it. And I want you to know people around you today might not understand. But once you've created it, they're going to understand.
Yes.
And I'm going to just play one little 30-second video, Jeremy, I know. Can you play the 30-second video?
I never seen that before.
That's a big playground.
Yeah, that's a huge playground.
That's a huge
Lots of brothers and
You think Papa will build it for you? Why would Papa do that?
Because has to buy it at the store. Yeah.
Papa doesn't have that much money to buy it.
Oh.
This is the one.
What are we gonna do?
Oh, maybe it has a lot of money.
He wanted a playground, and he said Papa couldn't buy it, but Mimi has a lot of money. Oh, Mimi can buy it. Mimi has a lot of money, okay? Mimi has a lot of money. Now, this is Braxton when he is probably, how old? I don't know, maybe 3 or 4, okay? About 2 weeks ago, my grandbabies, this is youth church right here. So Braxton was in here for church about 2 weeks ago in the room you're in. Do you have the picture that I sent you of me and Braxton? So Braxton's 8 now. And I came and picked him up at kids' church, and we're walking out, and he's holding my hand, and one of the greatest things is going to church with my grandbabies.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't want us, this is not meant to just do anything but just to help you understand. So about maybe a year ago, Mark Hammond, we were sitting in the sanctuary, and he's like, you guys, we have a big need, big. We need like $30,000 because our air conditioning is not working and the tiles are falling off the ceiling. And right when he said it, a tile fell off the ceiling and hit the lady in the head. We're like, okay, yeah, this is a need, Uh-huh. And I looked at Darren and like, babe, like I just have a feeling like we're probably supposed to do this. And he's like, yeah, I have the same feeling. And so I wrote Mark Hammond a little note and I said, hey, we got it, it's good. And I'm not telling you that because I really want you to know that, that's not it, but I want you to understand this spillover that you will be able to have when you see it through. And so Braxton was walking out, we're holding hands, and he says, Mimi, he said, can I come over and play tomorrow? I said, Braxton, we're gonna play today, but I can't play tomorrow, I have to work tomorrow. And he said, why didn't you quit work like 2 years ago, Mimi? And I said, Braxton, turn around. And he turned around and he looked at the church. I said, do you know that what Mimi and Papa do for work, it helps us have the church? It does? I said, yeah. How? And we started talking. People will understand when the time is right for them to understand. Decide what legacy you want to create. And then go get it. Go get it, you guys. I love you. Okay, Mr. Jeremy Devos.